Southern Vangard Radio, this is DJ John Doe, and to the left, no, not to the left, to the in front of me is my man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cappuccino.
Cappuccino me.
Southern Vangard Radio.
How are you, boss?
I'm chilling, man. Hey, homie, real quick, appreciate that crush groove you sent me straight off of East Macklemore.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Man, that's hard.
Yo,
that's hard.
We got to tell the folks about this joint real quick. Who was
Volt
that?
Records.
Yeah, it's on Volt, which is a subsidiary of Stax, obviously.
No
for
doubt.
those of you that follow that kind of shit, you know, Meeks being from South Memphis, and me being from nowhere near South Memphis, but just being a lover of all things Memphis soul. Who was his name? The joint was "I Like What You're Doing to Me" by
Genie and
the Darlings. Yo,
yeah, fly shit.
Me and the lady were on the deck last night drinking some wine, and man, that joint just hit, bro. I think I listened to that shit like 25 times last night in a row. I kept on rewinding it. I was like, I gotta send this to Meeks, man. He's gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it kills me every time I see records like that because I actually grew up on East Macklemore.
Right.
My grandmother's address, 1635 East Macklemore.
There
and my
you go.
aunt's address was 1640. She lived right across the street.
So you could walk to Stax?
Oh, yeah.
Like, no problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like
problem.
That's wild, man.
No problem. And my brother went to Lamar College, HBCU in Memphis, which is right behind Soulsville, the studio and everything. And then the campus is right there. And,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of history, man. But that's hometown right there, man. So I appreciate that,
man.
home. That shit was good.
Always. Yeah, you know what, too? I was just like, man, what is it? Because I had my phone somewhere. I was pulling double duty. I had my phone was set up as a hotspot. So my so my 3-year-old could watch a Disney movie, and I was also playing music from my phone. So I had my phone kind of like halfway in between where he was and where I was on the deck. I actually got up out of my chair. I was like, I had to go see what this joint was, man, because I had a playlist on or something like that. I was just letting it rock, and
gotcha.
That's a joint. So
yeah, it was hard.
Anyway, so so Meeks was still under quarantine or lockdown or sheltered in place or whatever the fuck you want to call this shit.
Here we are, man.
Regardless of our fine governor. Brian Kemp opening up the gates on Friday.
Took heed to my message from last week, and they did not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. It was funny, man, because I called my barber. It wasn't like I was gonna go in the barber shop this week, and I just wanted to see what the status was over there. Yeah. He was like, "Man, I'm not going." He's like, "It's gonna be another 2-3 weeks for me." I was like, "Cool."
Right.
So
you weren't even
everybody
tempted.
ain't falling for that shit, man.
Yeah, you weren't even tempted to go.
Nah.
Even with the have we surpassed Steezo fade?
Man, I don't know what this shit. This is the edit Cappuccino Meeks Chia Pet. This what this shit is. Yeah, my shit. You spread shit over my head, man. Pour some water in this motherfucker. Just watch it grow. Chino. Chino Pet.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Well, my shit looking bad, but shit, I'm flexing on them, man. You know, I'll be 50. I'll be a 50 piece next year.
You gonna be 50?
I ain't supposed to have all this hair on my head, man.
Hold on, man. You're 50 this October?
Not this October. Don't rush me. God damn it. Next year. Next October.
All right, okay, all right. We still got a couple years left before you hit the 50.
Oh yeah. I'm just, so this right here is stunting 101 for me. I ain't supposed to have hairline nor hair like this. So
the best
shouts out to my mama. She hooked me up.
Word. Yo, the best is when we interviewed Wise P. Remember that a couple months ago, and he and he noticed your hairline from FaceTime. I mean, like that's some fabulous shit right there when you can pull that off, my brother.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. But yeah, we all good, man. Like I said, we didn't fall for it this weekend, man. I laid extra low this weekend.
Yep.
Got out today and made made a grocery store run, and back at the house, man. No problem.
Word, so beautiful. All right, so I had a good weekend. Laid back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful. All right. Well, shit, let's get into it. This is the first time you're listening. Welcome. This is Southern Vangard Radio. You know, usually, you know, my good friend Meeks is, you know, here at the lab with me, and we're actually, you know, in the same place doing this thing. But, you know, we're doing the best we can to keep this thing going virtually until it makes sense for us to, you know, get back together again. But you know, we drop twice a week. If you're a fan of the gentleman that we have on the phone tonight, maybe this is the first time you're listening. This is Southern Vangard Radio. We drop twice a week. Tuesdays is a mix show. All the latest and greatest hip hop, all new shit, no old shit. And then on Thursdays, it's an interview session, generally, you know, fairly in depth, with an MC or DJ or some behind the scenes folk, photographer, artists, you know, someone that deals with the, you know, this culture that we love and hold so dear to our hearts. So make sure you're following on all the platforms. If you stumbled on us on SoundCloud and you don't fuck with SoundCloud and you like Mixcloud, or you don't fuck with Mixcloud and you like Apple Podcasts, then there are a number of platforms you can hit: Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, YouTube, Spotify Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
Stitcher Radio.
Yeah, exactly. Stitcher Radio for that direct hit. And then we have some affiliates as well, Meeks, to help us get out the word, right?
Yes, sir. ATLHipHop.com. I am ClassicRawRadio.net. Return of the BoomBap WRBB. X Squad Radio, X Squad affiliates, all of those in Atlanta. And of course, we chill out on the West. We chill out Cali with Soul Public Radio.
Word. All right.
Yeah.
So the interviewee tonight is kind of, I wouldn't say it's a part two, but it's kind of a follow-up. Because about a month ago, we had the homie Sabak Red on. You know, he had just dropped a single with J57 called, what was it, Meeks? Block Cheese and Bocce? Wasn't that the name of the joint?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that was the name of the joint. And J57 was nice enough to introduce us to one of Sabak's cohorts, one of his PNCs, the one and only Lord Goat, a.k.a. Gore Elohim, a.k.a. Goretex and Nonfiction. Welcome to the show.
Hey! No doubt.
Peace. What up?
What up?
Peace.
Gore, how are you, my man?
Good, man. How y'all doing?
We're chilling, man. Gore, where you at right now?
Yeah, right now I'm in New York.
Okay.
I'm on Long Island right now.
All right.
It's you know, it's pretty crazy out here. It's pretty crazy everywhere in New York generally, but it's getting weird, you know?
Yeah, right now it's extra, I'm sure.
It's extreme extra. So you know, yeah, man. I guess everybody just trying to hold it down. But
yeah.
You know, the problem is a lot of people knew this was going to happen to some extent. I mean, based on just, I mean, you know, we can talk about it and go into it, obviously, but it's just, it's the speed of how quickly they worked to do this. It's like how fast they did it. That's kind of what's like making people's heads spin a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Gore was
when you're dealing with a monster, you know. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was a while when we were talking to Sabak, you know, a couple of weeks ago, actually, like right when this all kind of popped off and everything started getting, you know, you mentioned things moving fast. I told him, you know, joking but not joking, I was like, how is it that, you know, we're interviewing you right now and I feel like I'm in the middle of a fucking Nonfiction song. And then, you know,
no doubt,
you know, and then like a couple of weeks later, I actually saw a post from you on Instagram. I think you were talking about the maybe the anniversary for The Future Is Now, but just kind of, I believe in that post you were talking about how you've been preparing your whole life for something like this, or you've been waiting your whole life for something like this to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's you know, it's like a gift and a curse. I mean, that album is, you know, I'm glad a lot of people appreciate it and stuff. But, you know, just to live with that album and considering everything that happened and what's happening, I mean, it takes a toll on you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that stuff, people really didn't want to hear about it. You know, and especially back then, you were kind of looked at as kind of like a weirdo, you know, or like, you know, a derogatory term, which is a conspiracy theorist, or, you know, like, you know, someone who would wear a tinfoil hat even, which is also derogatory.
That's crazy.
It's facts. So,
right.
You know, So all the stuff that we were talking about, and stuff that we picked up from William Cooper and, like Ralph Epperson and, a lot of cats, and, it goes back years and years and years. But different people, it affects different ways. It's not like, like 9/11 happened. I never bounced back from that. That's not,
right.
That just happened. That just happened a few years ago for me. That's not 20 years ago for me. That's like 3 years ago for me. There's no real, there's like a time continuum of like something that changed over the last 20 years, and that just goes into like some other, like metaphysical, like, it's some other shit. But, that unfortunately affects everything. So,
no doubt.
We're in a situation where we can go through 10 years and it's really going to feel like, 2 years.
Right.
That's true.
So Gore, what were you thinking like when this started going down? Like were your antennas up like end of December, early January when you started hearing about, what was going on in China, or when did things really start to lock in for you with this particular incident?
I mean, as far as a few years ago, like the thing that Gates said, his whole gimmick, my antennas were up since then. It's not like they really, it's just, again, it's like I didn't know they were going to put that into plan in November, like a lot of people. So, I mean, honestly, like I feel like I might have gotten it like in November.
Oh, man.
I felt like shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
It wasn't like I felt like I had to go to the hospital, but I was like, yo, this shit is weird. And then like maybe a week later, I felt cool for 3 days. I was like, oh, dope. I feel better. And I got sick again for 2 weeks. So,
yeah, that's a conversation that's being had by a lot of people right now. Even myself, it got me to thinking like, how many of us already dealt with it and just don't even know? It's something to think about for sure, man.
The problem is this: it's not just one strain, because there's 2 or 3 different things happening. There's one strain where you get the flu and you're like, damn, I feel like shit, and then you feel great in 2 weeks. Then there's something that will kill you.
Definitely.
So it's not. It isn't just one strain. It's multiple strains.
No doubt. Well, Go. What you doing to keep your mind intact and stay safe and dodge the bullshit, man? What's day to day been like for you?
I mean, the thing is, what I would suggest to anybody, and it's it's been helpful for me, is not watching TV. Stay away from the TV, because that shit messed me up for the first week. I'm not going to front. It got to the point I was like, okay, I see what the media's doing, and they're going in hard.
Right.
So, when the media could latch on to something similar to like 9/11, they're going to latch on to it and they're going to milk it.
Right.
So, they're talking about, I mean, you wake up in the morning and they're showing people digging holes, talking about there's not enough room for people.
Right.
So you open your eyes and the first thing you see on the media is like, what are we going to do for the people now? Because the morgues are closed. The bodies are stacking up. The freezers are already getting filled. What are we going to do with the bodies? Every day after day. What are we going to do with the bodies? So you have to understand the programming. And it works in any situation. It worked in 9/11 because 9/11 had doctored footage. You couldn't even see real footage because if you put on CBS, that was fake footage. So, you really don't know what you're seeing. They're talking about, Italian hospitals, and that's footage they used 2 weeks ago. So they're cross-referencing themselves and confusing themselves. Obviously, it's real. People are dying. Rest in peace, Fred the Godson.
No doubt.
That's a shame. You know what I'm saying? That's
absolutely.
It's awful. It's a lot of people. It's people I'm forgetting right now because shit is crazy. But back to your question, stay away from the TV. There's really not much you're really going to get off of that. There's not much you're really going to learn. It's really not the best thing. That's probably probably the best I could say, because
that's what's up.
Things are very weird out there. If you go to it's like you go to the supermarket and it's just people with like tubes and helmets and goggles and it's weird. It's like the end of ET.
Right.
It's very
hard. Word.
So I'm in the supermarket. I'm like, yo, I want to get some Gatorade. I need some yogurt. But yo, I'm ET. People looking at me. I'm like, yo, shit is real.
Why you say you ET, Go?
I'm saying I feel like an alien. Everyone's got masks. I'm saying I got a mask, but everyone's got, some dudes got those crazy gimmicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The other tubes, like the crazy expensive gas masks. I'm like, yo.
They tripping. Yo, I'm bugging because everybody's masked up. But my thing is, ain't nobody in here coughing. People too scared to even breathe. I don't think the whole time you're in the store, people are breathing. It's just
you can't breathe.
Yeah,
you're right. You can't breathe. If you go in a store, forget if you're chewing a piece of gum.
It's a problem.
You feel it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You can't cough. You can't do anything. People don't. They got arrows in the aisles now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
My boy went in the supermarket. They barked on him because he went up the aisle incorrectly.
That's crazy.
So we're in a very futuristic, basically a novel. It's like THX, 1138 or something.
Right.
It's
no doubt.
It's super far out, yo.
Yeah, man. So we're glad you're safe, man, and we happy to be talking to you tonight, man.
Absolutely, likewise, man.
Yeah,
likewise.
you got some stuff popping off, man, and we wanna get some information on it, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Let's go.
So Gore, you got a joint that just dropped, right? Coffin syrup. Well, let's just switch up and talk about some music, man.
No doubt.
The kind of the vibe I got from this was maybe some new joints, some freestyles, interludes, B-sides. Is that accurate, or what's the?
It's fairly accurate.
Okay.
The thing is, Coffin Syrup was originally released in, I want to say, 2011, I think. There was a bunch of other songs on it, and it's generally B-sides, some rare stuff, freestyles, a couple new remixes,
right?
A couple new interludes. I think 1 or 2 demo tracks on there from Electric Lucifer that were just different versions. I think Skeptics. Yeah, I think there's one joint. There's like one demo joint. And there's one, I think the newest thing on there is Crawl Space, which is with Blackistan and Stu Bangers.
Right. Which is on their new EP, right? Or LP, yeah, I believe.
That's on their new thing. Exactly. Right. That's on their new thing coming out. But, I just like the way it sounded. So there's a couple of older collabs on there I did. So I figured I would throw it in there because it kind of went with the vibe anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. So you got this. We're streaming, but there's physicals as well, right? Vinyl and CD via Smoke On. Yeah, is that right?
Absolutely. Anybody who wants it can get it directly from SmokeOnRecords.com. It's taking a little longer. There's people that placed orders. Everybody's going to get their order, obviously, but they're being, Germany right now because of what's going on. There's a little bit of a delay, but everything is A-okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So. Coffin Syrup, that's going to drop on vinyl. I mean, so I don't even have my copies yet, but I mean, it's definitely available. I just don't think people got their copies yet.
Right. Gotcha. What's up with the Smoke On cats? I don't know about these guys. They're fairly new.
It's just one dude. It's just like one dude from Germany, and he's just super into the culture. You know what I'm saying? He loves what he loves, and he just kind of puts stuff out. You know what I'm saying? He puts stuff out from the 90s. And stuff now. It's just, he'll put out just like random stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. So
talk random rap.
We're doing the next project is it's myself and Stu Bangers, and it's called Final Expenses.
Yeah, I saw a blip about that. So what's up with you and Stu getting in the lab?
Yeah, me and Stu been working on that. So we both had some other stuff to kind of wrap up and take care of. You know, he was doing Cannibal Hulk with Bill.
Right.
And those guys wrapped that up. So I was just kind of, you know, I'm in the foreshadows waiting. So he got finished with that. Now we're knocking this out.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just heavy.
Hey, Go, how you find yourself working on with the Snow Goons? We play quite a bit of their music on our show. How'd you pull up on that one?
I mean, I know those dudes for years, since probably going back to the Nonfiction days. You know, those dudes are younger, but it's like, you know, those dudes, you know, definitely show love. So it's pretty, you know, just to jump on that. You know, I'm definitely going to do some more stuff in the future. So
okay, cool.
Piece of Snow Goons.
She's torn.
How are you working these days, Gore? You got a lab set up at the house, or like what's the workflow?
Yeah, I got
like?
a couple different spots. Yeah, a couple different spots, because there's different sounds that I like to get, where different places, it's like a different vibe.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
It depends. If you're talking about certain setups, it depends how a room is shaped. You know, I might go to a place that has a certain shape of the room, because the thing with me is, you know, a lot of people, they could just record anywhere, but for me, it's like vocally, like I like it to sound a certain way, and my voice isn't like a stereotypical rap voice. So it really, sometimes, depending on the beat, it takes a minute to get it where I like it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff that I like that's floating around. I don't like the mix at all. I don't like it at all. But you know, so I'm definitely picky about how, especially now, I want shit to sound right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
no doubt.
Gotcha. So when can we expect this joint with Stu to drop? Gore, anytime soon, or fall?
I mean, there's definitely going to be a new song within the week.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
So,
okay.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe like a week and a half, but I mean, there's definitely something new dropping. I'm not really big into dates. I don't like, you know, if I say, June 1st, you know, probably around June 1st, but I mean, it's more or less going to happen either sooner than expected. So it could happen anytime before June 1st. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dates are almost irrelevant these days. Really. I mean, people are just dropping shit out of the sky.
Plus, it's like, you know, the way, you know, I'm operating, this is like it's visceral, raw music. It's underground. It's not, you know, 15 different things attached to it, where it's like there's a video, this, that, there's a, you know, at some point, but it's like the music is dropping first. I don't need all the other gimmicks right now, because I kind of see there's like a pattern where people, you know, they're dropping 85 gimmicks, and it's like they're not letting the music marinate. They're not letting anything really settle and just kind of sit for what it is. You're getting bombarded with all this other stuff. So you're just like, yo, where's the music? I see the T-shirt. I see 10 videos. I see, where's the tunes? You know what I'm saying? So all that peripheral stuff, I'll get to that, but I'm just trying to put out music right now. Music, and just, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So what's your take on that these days, Gore? I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but I mean, this is the way that the world operates now, as far as, you know, releasing music, is totally different than, you know, when all of us on this phone were coming up.
Yeah, Go. You come from the same time we do, man, and it's just like today's standards. Like, man, probably could never really imagine that shit. I guess you had to tip your hat to technology or whatever you want to blame it on. But it's wild out here, man. It's wild, wild west out here, man.
Well, you know, you could look at it. Well, there's a bunch of different ways to look at it, I think. I mean, when the chips were down, and if you did it because you had a love for it, you can do that. But it seems like, especially in the last 2 years, everybody's an underground rapper now. And everybody just put out 7 EPs, and everybody, you know, it's a lot of unoriginality. But the problem is you're putting out so much music, it's not marinating. And the thing is, the fans that are buying this music or whatever, they don't care. They don't care that a song don't stick. They're buying it because they like the cover and it matches with an overpriced T-shirt they bought. You know what I mean? That's cool. Hey, yo,
That's real as shit.
That's you know, listen, people are making a lot of music now. That's cool. I love music. You know what I'm saying? I listen to new cats. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these dudes that's like, nah, yo. You know what I'm saying? I give it up. I'll listen to it. I'll support it. I do records with people. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about that street level. You know, that's never waved from who I've been or the records I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do a record with cats nobody even heard of, and the next year they're gonna play it. It don't matter to me. It just matters if it's quality or not. And a lot of cats don't really care if it's quality. They'll do 5 vinyl deals just so they could get this shit on vinyl, and the guys putting it out don't even care.
Right.
So what's happening is, you know, MC so-and-so, you know, he gets somebody to press a record, and it's like he's giving them demos out of okay. This company presses it, and they're charging $90 a record, and you got these numbskulls that are buying it, a regular EP for $90.
Yeah. It's tough, man. Because I mean, my thing, Gore, is you know, I'm a DJ, I'm a record collector. You know, Meeks and I have pressed records before. Like, you know, that is an art and a science in of itself, right? And people don't understand that. And you know, I'm always wanting to support and buy physicals, you know, in this digital age. However, I am so worried about these releases and like what they've actually, what they've cut the mother on, and like what they've, you know, are they cutting the
yeah, but they're not. But they're not.
I know.
Like what you're talking about, most of them are not really doing
right.
that.
Yeah, so they're giving they're pressing records off MP3s.
Exactly. But the thing is, you can tell somebody that, but they don't care. They're not interested in that. It's just, if it's there, if the vinyl looks nice. And listen, man, it's like anything else. You know, I used to collect comic books back in the day and shit, and magazines and stuff. And I get it. It's like it's like these cats are looking at stuff like, you know, I mean, I look at my own stuff like it's art,
right?
Which it is. But I'm not ready to say, okay, listen, because I think it's art, you're going to pay $112 off the rip from me,
right?
For this,
right?
Like I wouldn't even. I mean, personally, I couldn't sleep at night. Right. It ain't about bread. Because who doesn't like money? That would, you know. The point is, put out quality music, but you don't really got to rape people. The problem is these kids don't really care about being raped. So it's like supply and demand. Serve the fiends.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. If people want to piss money away like that at a time like this in civilization, where it's ironic because back in the day when this wasn't necessarily happening, where, you know, viruses and, you know, everything happening as quickly, people were more conscious. We had conscious music, and it was taken seriously. I'm not even talking about that long ago. You know what I'm saying? And now when it's right in front of your face, everything from reptilian politicians to pedophiles running Hollywood and the movie industry, which you'll still support, you know, you'll still support the actors. You know, where does it end? You know, so there used to be conscious music, and now it's just dudes that just want to escape and spend $3,000 on a polo outfit.
Right.
Damn.
Who are you fronting for? Who is that for?
Man.
Who's seeing you that you need to do that?
Right.
Great question, yo.
I'm saying get fly. I've been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? That's great.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? There's, you know, that's cool. I don't have a problem with that, but that's, you know, to me, that's like, you know, for a few numbered cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're really down with that. And so otherwise, you know, it's like, if you're trying to be down with that and you're not really down with that and never were down with that, and you look like a fool.
All right.
So that's just what I think of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like anybody, oh yeah, you know, I just spent $3,000 and, you know, I want in on this. It's like, nah, bro.
Right.
But you know, my point was, it's weird at a time like this when now we literally have a lot of extraterrestrial activity in the last 6 months, and people aren't interested in that. People aren't interested in, you know, what's really, really happening right now. So I'm not saying there has to be a lot of, you know, music like Dead Prez and, you know, stuff like that, or, you know, be culturally aware and stuff, but it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, we could do a little something else and still do this too.
Right.
You know, not everything has to be, you know, how wavy you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you're the wavy emoji. Not every joint has to be that. Not everything has to be. There's a reality too. There's stuff going on right now. It's not about who's putting out the biggest framed piece of artwork. Cats want to be rappers in the oil painting. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, we're real. We're real now. Let's talk about real stuff too.
Yeah, right.
Because I've never painted myself into the corner where I'm just going to talk about this, or I'm going to talk about just old Illuminati stuff. I'm going to talk about cults. You know what I'm saying? I talk about everything. I can
touch on all subjects, man, and well-rounded. You
everything.
Know, yeah.
You gotta be able to communicate everything. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't, and you know, it's the gift and the curse. So it's like by me doing what I do topically, the topics I do, I make it a little difficult for myself. But the thing is, I'm not striving for commerciality.
Right.
I really don't care. I don't care.
You got a lane already. It's already been established who you are and what you do. Exactly. Yeah. I
mean, listen. I mean, of course, if you know, would I be into? If someone is like, "Yo, let's do huge budgeted videos," yeah, for the fun of it. But it's not who I am. I'm not chasing that. Whereas I could have been chasing that all these years. I could have manipulated what I do for a mass audience. Where, I mean, God forbid, it would never be anything like Post Malone, you know, a toilet like that. But it would be something that, you know, it would be something more digestible comparative to what I do now. But that's just to sacrifice what I do. That's just, I don't mind.
Hey, Go. Let me just say that we're thankful that you would never hit us over the head with no Post Malone bullshit. We grateful for that, man.
Nah, no doubt. I mean,
thank you so much.
It's not even the reality anyway. I mean, it's not right. Reality anyway, but, you know, I would look ridiculous with a wig like that. I mean, he looks like a rabbi. So. Nah, you know what annoyed me about him? I'll keep it real. Him and his dudes, like his homies, like produce some stuff for Ozzy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, you know, basically one of his homies wrote some music for Ozzy and Ozzy Osbourne's new videos, and the joints blew up. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Post Malone was able to start chilling with Ozzy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, move on his like rock career. Like, yo, man, this is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Wow.
So Gore,
once you start once you start chilling with Ozzy, I'm gonna start hating on you. You know.
Indeed.
He didn't pay them dudes. He didn't pay them dudes to chill.
To be out there with Ozzy. You right.
Exactly.
You're right about that.
I paid them dues.
Word.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
So Gore, who do you fuck with right now? Like old or new? Like what are you listening to right now?
I mean, it's all kinds of genres, all kinds of stuff. I mean, hip hop probably. You know what I'm saying? Probably Conway, some Benny.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's really not too much. A lot of stuff like EPMD, you know, old Redman, you know, Rakim. A lot of obscure b-boy stuff, a lot of breaks. You know what I'm saying? I make beats too, so a lot of it is just I listen to a lot of other kind of music besides hip hop. But
sure,
you know, I listen to the usual, all the greats, even old school stuff, Houdini, Masters of Ceremony,
no doubt,
Fat Boys. I mean, all the fun stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
New stuff. There's new stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Like Ito and Crime Apple, you know what I'm saying? I definitely mess with those guys. Definitely new cats I mess with. The only thing is when I feel like cats are just like they're not original, or they're just trying to like ride someone too much. It's like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, do your own thing. And you know, everyone wants to sound like Rock Marciano, and it's like it's you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, let Rock's dope. Let him breathe.
Right.
Do his thing. There doesn't got to be 12 new dudes that say, yo, don't try to take his crown. Let him live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
Give him his roses, but give him some air too, yo. Just chill.
No doubt.
Yeah, agreed.
But
hey, Go. As far as production goes, you say you make beats. What's your weapon of choice, beat making wise?
I mean, I would probably say the ASR 10. When I first kind of started messing beats with the EPS 2, the Insonic. I was using the 2000 for a minute. I never really mastered it, so I wouldn't say I know all the tricks of it and shit. You know what I'm saying? But generally, it's the ASR. So,
So
you software, but generally the ASR.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you have a mentor, like production wise, Gore, or no? Like anybody show you the ropes on the ASR or no?
No, not really. No,
okay.
Nobody did. I mean, to be honest with you, with that machine, there's still always new tricks to learn on that.
Right.
There's like some Illuminati moves you can make on that. So I don't know all the moves on that. That's how dope the machine is.
Yeah.
There was people back in the day when I worked with them, you know what I'm saying? People like Necro, he had those machines.
Right.
He had started working EPS first, and then he got the ASR. Then I got the ASR when we got a deal with Geffen back in the day. That's the first machine I got. I got an SP1200 and the ASR. I was linking them together.
Right.
But I still think hardware now is probably the best. It still sounds the best. You can get a certain sound, but I still think hardware is going to give you that edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my first sampler was an EPS 16 Plus, actually, Gore, and then after that, I had an EPS 16 Plus, and me and my man Meeks made some good shit with that, and then I was such an emu like fanatic. I moved on to like this rack mount joint later on, which was like an E6400. And I never got into, because I had a ton of friends that were, that went the MP route, and I never got into like the MP world. So like it's funny, like you got this like group of folks that were like EPS ASR heads, and then you got folks that were like big MP heads, and that whole thing is so, so interesting. But back to your point about hardware, like it's even dope. Like you even see someone like Jake One who's still like making beats on an ASR, and he's doing like big shit, So people are still using that hardware.
Yeah, of course. I mean, some people refuse to use anything but that because it gives them a certain sound. You can use other programs. You can use software to manipulate almost anything these days, but there's still something about a sequence that knocks when it's hardware. Mm-hmm. You can't really reproduce in software. You can trick certain people, but you can tell when it's a real. I mean, I can tell when it's a real sequence, when it's like real drums. You know what I mean?
For sure,
no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So
you got any Goat, you got any production credits that we need to get familiar with out there? You doing beats for anybody right now? Anything like that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working with this new cat, Blizz from Juice, he's going to be on the album. Definitely super covered artist. You know what I'm saying? My man Truck Jules.
Okay.
He we got some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got some beats here and there, but I'm not really. It's like I'm not really at the point where I'm going to say like, okay, everybody knows I used to do beats and stuff here and there, but I never really went as hard as I probably should have. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, so I'm probably going to make up for lost time and definitely because I'm sitting on gas right now. So
okay,
all right.
Well, we'll be looking out for it, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of EPs, bro. So we got the Stu Bangers joint. Me and Little Vic, we got an EP coming out. Probably, I want to say September. Me and Little Vic got something.
Dope.
Me and Recognize Ali got an EP coming out.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's probably going to be December.
Okay.
Yo, what's this joint?
I feel a lot of right now.
Yo, I saw you pop up on something here recently. Young Demise.
Yeah, no doubt. Little homie.
Yeah. What's his story? I'm not familiar with him, but I think you're on two joints on a is it an EP or LP?
Yeah.
It's called Irish Goodbye, I believe.
Yeah. Just vibing. You know what I'm saying? It's the little homie. He's doing his thing. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of things in the works. Me and Bill got an EP coming out in February. That's crazy too.
Really?
Me and Q Unique got a joint coming out. That's almost done. I think people are gonna like that one too.
Oh,
so
you putting in some work right now, Go?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, you putting in some work right now, man. It's dope.
We're gonna be looking out for it too, Goat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Man, with so much work being prepped right now, getting ready to drop, and you all over the place, man. I was looking at the prep topics for the interview tonight, man, and your history is incredible. But there was a lot of missteps there, and talking to you tonight, you sound great. Sound upbeat. Got work going in, doing beats, you all over people's projects and whatnot. Is it safe to say that all of that stuff is behind you? I think the worst thing I read about was the rumors that was being spread about you. Like, is that just a thing of the past for you right now? It's not even is it a non-issue?
Put it this way. Everything is a non-issue because I look at it this way. The reason why I couldn't put records out for multiple years is because if people don't know, not that I want to harp on it, but I was basically sued from the company, which was my name, which was Goretex. Right? People don't know that. Cool. Somebody ratted me out to the company. Cool. That wasted 3 years' time right there because I couldn't put anything out. I had to sign paperwork with them. Then they said, well, you can use Gore for your first project, but you can't use Goretex. You can't use anything or affiliates like that. Art of Dying, your first album, cannot be sold anymore. It's void.
Wow.
So, all this other stuff was happening. Then, a whole other topic I'm not going to go into because I could write a book, and if need be, I got a book if need be. I'm not worried about it, but
no doubt.
That's negativity. So it's like when a person, it's like anything. When a person has a projection, that's going to offend certain people. If I illuminate a certain way, it's going to rub you the wrong way. You're going to do things in your power to try to stop whatever you could,
right?
Because you feel a certain way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'll say about that. But mostly keep in mind what someone should know. Anything that they heard about is 99.9% false. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done a million interviews, and I don't have nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? I don't walk in the shadows. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't have a problem in the streets. I don't got a problem anywhere. I could do shows in Vegas, New Mexico. I get loved everywhere.
Dope.
Everywhere. And in the history of my career, I've had a problem with barely one person. I don't have a problem with peers and other rappers and jazz. For what reason? I'm not insecure.
Dope. Yeah. I just think it's dope to be, talking about you and hear all the progression and all the work that you're doing. Cause when I look at all this stuff and I think about, some of these young cats we just kind of got through talking about, they couldn't have made it through this. You know what I mean? That's, we'd have been hearing about overdoses left and right if any of them had to go through some of this shit, man. So I just think real. It's dope that you still out here grinding and doing your thing, and we look forward to everything you drop.
That's real, man. That's real. That means a lot. The thing is, man, this is whatever I'm doing is predestined. It's not anything that's really thought about. You know what I'm saying? Since I'm 5 years old, this is what I'm doing. Nobody's stopping me. Nobody's shutting the music down. You could, and it's not a result.
It's not a result of that bullshit either. It's just you.
Nah.
Yeah. That's dope.
Nah, but going back to what you're saying, the thing is, I have a different name now. So the thing is, I'm still the same person, but it's a whole different thing now. So people might say, "Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're doing a record with this cat." I'm the same person, but Lord Goat is not the same person that Goretex was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or else that would be, I'm not walking in my own shadows, walking backwards. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking ahead. I'm progressing musically every day.
So
is that a little refreshing to be able to kind of, I don't want to say hit the reset button.
It's very refreshing. It's very refreshing in a sense because unfortunately, because of the internet and the way the internet works and was created, and nothing really goes anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And whatever negativity is around, and like everybody, whether they're an artist or not, has negativity about them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's about, this and that, or it could be about your family or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just the vile stuff that the internet brings. You can't really change that. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have to work above that. You know what I'm saying? You have to work above that. It's just difficult when the smoke and mirrors fact is that you can't see when things are happening and things are being jeopardized. When there's forces, you know what I'm saying? When I have an Australian tour booked and mysteriously it gets canceled 3 days before the ticket's supposed to be bought, why is that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could give you, we don't even have time tonight. I could give you 10 more examples of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them go, and it's just like, I like I said, I don't know a lot of people. Shit, probably including myself. I mean, I'm a hell of a guy, but looking at this shit, hey man, this shit right here, I just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes me that much more thankful to be talking to you tonight, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, man.
No, respect, bro.
Respect, big time, man, for real.
Gore, what's something that you don't get to talk about when you do interviews like this that you'd like to talk about? Is there anything you can think of off the top of your head that you're like, damn, I wish someone would ask me about this? Or
I mean, I'm super random. I couldn't really tell you. I mean, but I'm sure there's a million and one things. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really think of anything off the top.
Okay.
There's always a million things that are definitely torturous, at least on a daily, day-to-day basis. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
I got to tell you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think going back to what you were saying before, there's always a perception of what people, might think they see or might read or might see online. But the problem with that is once it's in print, it goes into fact. People go into factual mode about it. It becomes fact. And it becomes truth. And, it's one thing if there's a certain, because listen, everybody, all my friends, all my peers, I could go online and read a billion things about them. Everybody, every famous rapper there's a billion things about it. But it's like, the thing is what you were saying before, it's like that shit, I don't even pay that any mind. Mm-hmm. Because to me, that's like, if you really have that energy to put into that me falling into that trap, that's just going to extract what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And at one point, I had to cater to that, because if I'm getting threats, you know what I'm saying? If I'm getting, prank calls and people, you know what I'm saying? There's little things like I'm going to keep it super 100. So this is that, it got to the point where it's like, if shit's going to pop off, it's going to pop off. So if that means me being paranoid and me sleeping with 3 gats or me having, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't, not everybody lives a certain lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's okay. Some people just listen to the music and they have 9 to 5s and keep it pretty, that's not everybody though.
Yeah.
So,
I got a quick question. Did y'all cats ever catch flack, like, based on your song content? Like, were there people out there that felt like y'all shouldn't have been speaking on what y'all was speaking on, or was it widely accepted, or was there any flack there?
I mean, it depends. At the very beginning, I mean, when me and Bill started, I mean, we would rap about all kinds of stuff, but again, we didn't really stay on one topic. When we got older and it was more about just knowledge itself, we were acknowledging all cultures and past histories of all sorts of scripts. There was a point, probably around the time we dropped I Shot Reagan, where we would do some shows and there'd be some heads outside, you know what I'm saying, heads rocking beads. And then, and I got approached, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it wasn't physical beef, but it was like, homie was like, yo, I'm trying to blah, 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 ask you about, he was being confrontational about some of the symbols we were using.
Okay.
So, little things like that. And then, we would take 10 minutes and just talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The last thing we were ever, listen, we were never posers. We were never ever on that tip to exploit anything.
Yeah.
Especially back then, we would never jump into a subject without something we didn't completely feel with our heart. It wasn't something for clout. It wasn't like, oh, well, this is trendy, so let's mention Eldridge Cleaver.
Right.
Never.
Okay. Cool.
And that's suspect with a lot of people, to be honest with you, that were trying to rap about that and kind of just even acting like they were interested in that. There was a lot of that. So
I always wondered about that.
No doubt. I mean, honestly, to go back to what you're saying, there was a few instances. I mean, we had a couple of shows, I think, in Manhattan. This is maybe 2000, 2001, 2000. And we were supposed to open for Brand Nubian. And we got a call. Somebody wasn't feeling that in that camp. So we were like, all right. I mean, if that's how you really feel, but that's it bothered me because of all people. Like, I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might see somebody else. They might think we're not them dudes. We have
right
beyond of a love of respect and knowledge of the culture and writers and people and everybody that came before us.
Right.
No doubt.
That's not a game. That's not a sham. That's not cloud. If anything, that made us more difficult to get into. Why? Who am I to be rapping about this and that? I'm talking about the last poets. For what reason? People don't get it now. So imagine back then, like, yo, these guys are aliens, man. I don't even understand them. People don't even understand me now. So
that's crazy. Crazy, man. Sure, you got stories for days, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, but I always wonder about stuff like that because, you know, that tends to be the attitude sometimes that, you know, this is ours to discuss and break down and dissect all of that.
Listen, man, I got to be honest with you. Back in the day, MC Search, you know, me and him had a conversation. This is when he was in the group. You know, for those that don't know, he was a member of Nonfiction back in the day. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he said to me, he's like, you know, we're just visitors here. Yeah. We're just visitors. We're just visitors. And I had felt that, I knew that, but when he said that, it just sounded right, even more right than it ever would have been before. And once you could accept that, it's different. You know what I'm saying? And you have to look at it differently. That's why when I would do press, I would be like, yo, don't ask me about white rappers.
Right.
You're probably you're not gonna like it. You ain't gonna like it. So
that's real. You're not gonna like it.
You know, I mean, you know, there's a few. Listen, I'm not talking about all of them. There's a few of my homies and stuff, but I can't co-sign a lot of that, man. I understand the hatred. I understand it. It's just not, you know. But this is not me going on a tirade about, you know, hating whoever. It's
not at all.
You know, going back to your original.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what it was like, and you know, obstacles or potential obstacles that could have come up, and how you overcame it.
Well, I mean,
we get
one of the worst. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, one of the worst shows that we probably had was Search booked us a show in Providence, in Rhode Island. Mm-hmm. I don't remember which college it was, but so we get there, and this is like the first single that came out. The album wasn't out yet. So we were just kind of bubbling. We just had 2 singles out. They were getting heavy play, heavy rotation, boom. So we go there. It's in this gymnasium. There's other people that performed. I don't remember who, and it was like 700 people in the gymnasium. And, you know, they looked strapped. It was weird. They looked mad sold out. Dudes with bottles, like 40 bottles. I'm like, yo, this is a wild show. This is all bad.
Hell yeah.
So we go on stage, boom, Eclipse starts playing, I think it was No Tomorrow. So, yo, like 15, 20 dudes walk to the front of the stage, and they got their arms crossed like S1Ws or something, you know?
Really?
I'm looking at Bill. I was like, yo. And 2 seconds later, they start throwing coins at us. So we would pick up the coins and start throwing it back at them.
Of course, you got to do that. That's natural.
But the problem is, there was only 6 of us, and there was like 19, 20 of them. So
that's a problem there for sure. Mathematically, that's an issue.
You know what? It's a wrap. We was like, yo, have a good night.
Word. No doubt.
I mean, I'm saying, like, if it's real, we'll fight. Like, we ain't running, but that's that's not an option. You know what I'm saying? It's not an option.
Nah, that's a situation where you bow out gracefully and chalk that up to the game, man. But that
was the only. I mean, listen, in the history of nonfiction, the history of everything we've done, that's one show out of hundreds. So I think that's a pretty good average. You know what I'm saying? That's the only show we ever had a problem at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That was ever weird. I mean, as far as like what you mentioned, as far as anything racially, that's the only show that was weird. Everything else was love. We did Lyricist Lounge. We opened up for the Roots. Yeah. I mean, that was a tough show. You know what I'm saying? But we got love and people respected that. You know what I'm saying? People had to respect that because, you know, we weren't just, you know, we're spitting pain. You know what I'm saying? We're spitting our pain. That's not, you can't fabricate that. You can't study another rapper and expect that to emulate that. You can't do that. So.
No doubt.
Gore, were you guys on the road with the Roots?
We know about the reunion show from 2014. What's the status of the crew right now? Not so much on the group or music like that. Just the relationships and stuff like that.
I mean, my perspective was, you know, the whole time that the group wasn't together, I was like, yo, damn, this is a waste of time, and everybody's hurting the fans. Right. The fans got hurt all those years. Nonfiction couldn't put out music, and you know, it wasn't me stopping that. So that's all I'm going to say. You know. So when we did the reunion show, I was like, all right, cool. This is going to make a lot of people happy. And we did the reunion show, and certain parties weren't interested. Me and Bill, we hit the studio. We kept recording. We did what we do. We do what we do. And, you know, Sabak, there was no communication. There was no interest. I sent him 3 emails with beats. I sent him gas. He didn't send me anything back. Ignored me. I was like, all right, bro. I was like, if you're ignoring me, you're not trying to work. I said, you're hurting the nonfiction banter. You're hurting the nonfiction mouthpiece, the game, the buzz. You're hurting everything. So for a minute, you know, I wasn't fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? We're cool now, and I keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, of course.
I don't have anything to hide. We cool now, but I don't see him running to the studio to submit tracks. Hey, let's record, guys. I don't see it.
Got you.
And if that's the case, that's the case. But I mean, it's not going to be, you know, one person's not going to stop, you know, they're not going to stop the wheels at this point.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt.
You know,
that's good to hear, man.
Hopefully not. Hopefully the case is, you know, he shows interest because, you know, we got gas. We've been with me and Bill are sitting on joints. So
that's what's up.
We got stuff that we've been sitting on. So
yeah, Gore, you guys had a pretty good run last fall. Didn't you guys do a few shows in Europe as nonfiction or no?
Yeah, we did a bunch of shows in Europe actually.
Right. How'd that go?
Excellent. I mean, the ironic thing is the shows have never been better. The shows were never more packed. Musically, the shows were never more tighter. So, we had a tour that was booked, and all this stuff that went down, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that it got canceled because look what happened.
Right.
Word.
Back in March or February, we might have got stuck out there in Europe.
Yeah, that's real. So, yeah, no doubt.
But that's my luck. Because I'm not luck. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't risk getting stuck in it. Trust me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
That's the luck that I don't need that.
Right.
I'm the guy on the airplane, right? I'm the dude on the airplane, a full 350 passenger flight. I'm the dude. They're gonna stop the airplane and rip a bag apart on the tarmac. They're gonna rip out one suitcase out of 350 people.
Right? Wait. So,
Whose suitcase do you think you're ripping apart?
Right. Gore, didn't you tell that? Okay. You had a super dope interview last year with, and pardon me if I fuck this gentleman's name up or his podcast up, but it was Brooklyn Blast Furnace or...
Yeah. That's familiar, no doubt. That's the homie.
Yeah, and you told a suitcase story or something like that, didn't you?
That was, I mean, that's scary. There's a couple of suitcase stories. I mean, if there's the one where it's like I had the identical bag, and this is in England, so I bring the bag up to my room because it's the identical bag, the same exact stickers, which is strange. Same exact Drakkar bag.
Not the Drakkar.
Yeah, Drakkar to Cologne. The only reason I brought that, check it. The only reason I brought that is because that duffel was huge. And you could just fit mad stuff in there. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to bring the duffel, boom.
Right.
I put some stickers on it. I picked it up in England. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's my Drakkar bag. Who else is going to want to bring this vomitory trash bag from 1988? You know what I mean? I get the bag in my room. We had a show that night. I'm like, boom, look at trash, boom. I open the bag. I see a bolo tie and a dress shirt, like a Western dress shirt. I'm like, man. I'm like, how did the Western dress shirt and bolo tie get in my bag? You know what I mean? Okay. I take out the shirt, and there's a pair of Lees in plastic. Okay, size 48. I'm like, this is not cool right now. I'm like, I got to do a show tonight, bro. Why is there a pair of Lees size 48 and a bolo tie in my bag? I was confused.
That's
I dig
crazy.
deeper. The worst. I dig deeper and I feel metal.
Oh.
I'm like, what? I'm like, why is there metal in the bag? I put my hands, I feel 2 cans, 10-pound heavy cans. I'm like, this is crazy. I look inside. It's 2 10-pound industrial size cans of tuna fish.
Well, that right there makes the bolo tie and the Western shirt make sense now.
And the size 48 pants.
So now you could imagine, because these cats that are rolling with me, they already know what it is.
Right.
So just because they rock with me. So I call their rooms. I'm like, y'all just gotta come to the room. They're like, oh man, another Goretex situation. Here we go. They get to the room. I opened the bag for them. They was on the floor,
That's crazy, man.
Because these clothes were like 6X. It was like Herman Munster cowboy shit,
Oh my God! Well, Gore, that was not the story I was thinking about. I think you told a story about how you mentioned getting pulling everybody off the plane to go through a bag. I think that's the one that you told. But I like the tuna fish story and the size 48. Lee's a lot better actually.
Yeah.
In plastic. Don't forget that.
Shit's so weird, man. It's just so weird. Oh man, that's a good one.
I didn't even know you can still get new Lee jeans in plastic. Like
new joint.
New joint.
God.
Joint.
Size 48. I mean, they even make size 48. Like at some point, doesn't it just like go to like extra, extra, extra large, and like you're just tossing the numbers out, or what?
Yeah, I'm saying, if you've seen the size of these garments, the bolo tie would confuse you. It would confuse you.
Well, the bolo tie had to have like real cowboy rope in it to be for a big motherfucker.
Cool. Be a cowboy. That's cool. That's you. Do you? Okay, but what are you doing with the tuna fish?
Right. Oh my God, that story is fucking crazy, dude. Oh, it's so good.
This is the problem. This is a story that haunted me for months, because why on earth would he be traveling state to state or country to country with cans of tuna fish? I don't get it.
Well, I'll just offer up this and then we can close on that. I just think you 6X, you try to get a little tuna in your life. You're trying to live right. You're trying to eat right. Go down to maybe a 4, 3X, maybe get down. I don't know.
Nah, listen, I get it. Listen, whoever this guy was, God bless him. But you're traveling to England and you're bringing tuna fish with you. That's no good, bro.
No good at all. I know they got some good shit over there to eat. They got to.
Why would it be industrial size tuna? It doesn't have to be that. It wasn't like it was, Star-Kissed or.
I say like he was
It was like Edelman's.
Right.
Like a 60-pound Nazi Edelman's unheard of obscure tuna fish. Like, nightmare.
This motherfucker's going to a fucking canned tuna trade show or some shit. I
don't know. Man, exactly.
Nazi tuna trade show.
That's the next joint.
There you go.
That's the next joint, man.
Gore,
let me get some bars on that, Gore.
Yeah. Out in Camp Luna, me and the homies eating Nazi tuna.
Oh God, that's classic.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. Well, Gore, how do you want to wrap this thing up, man? I know it's always about the music. Music comes first. But what would you like to give the people or tell the people? Where can they go to support you? I don't know. How do you want to wrap this thing up, man? It's on you.
Good looks for having me. And everybody could probably right now, my website is being messed with right now, so I don't want to give something that's not up. Okay. Check the IG, the Lord Goat. Definitely there's going to be news there. I'm definitely going to have a new song out within the week. So right. Y'all going to have it. So
we'd love to play it tonight if you can send it through. We'd love to play it tonight this week if you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it through, but it's not gonna be ready tonight, or else I would have sent it to y'all.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. I had to try.
We'll figure it out, and everybody keeping it real, who kept it real all these years. Much respect, and the love is always there because it's just about the music. That's it. It's not. There's no hiding behind gimmicks. It's raw. It's visceral. So
no doubt.
And honestly, I feel like in the last 2 years, I've done more than probably what I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? So, which is good. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like, it's sort of bittersweet because there's a lot of times I would have liked to put new music out, not so much for me or for my ego, but just for people who kind of need it. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like life's blood and energy. And it's like something they need. So like as an artist, when you're not able to communicate that and give that to them, it could be difficult sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it has to be when there's a nice flow and communication, like what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
New music is coming out because all sorts of stuff. It's just a good aura. You know what I'm saying? So right now, anything negative, it doesn't really matter because look at everything around you. There's so much negativity, and you could look at the planet right now in society, and we don't have a lot of time left. Mm-hmm. There's not really, so once you start meditating on that, everything else is kind of minuscule, kind of falls off your shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As long as, if you're not messing with my kids, if you're not messing with the homies and my girl, we're good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even, I don't pay anything like that. No mind. That shit falls off. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at.
Word.
All right.
Well, Gore, it's good to see you cranking, man. You're cranking on all cylinders right now, so we appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Keep that shit up. You're
I appreciate it, man. Lots of music coming up, bro.
Word.
Y'all fellas be safe.
Word. All right.
You do the same, Gore.
Thank you, my man.
Appreciate you, man.
Safe. Peace, man.
All right, peace. All right, and there you have it, my man.
That's a good one, homie. That's a good one, man.
That's that Smithsonian Gray we keep telling y'all about.
Yeah, man. That was, and no expectations, definitely still keeping them low. That's how we get down. But I really enjoyed that, man. It was good talking to that dude. I didn't know where we was going tonight, but we made it. And We on our way to the next episode.
Man. It's that raw. It's that real. It's that Smithsonian grade 251. If you missed 251, 251 dropped 2 days ago. If you do the math real quick, that means there's 250 other mix shows you can go back and check. There's 100 plus interviews you can go back and check. It's Meeks, it's Doe. It's that Smithsonian grade, that twice a week. That we are the God shit. Radio. And we out.
We out, y'all. Let's get it.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.